Hi, I'm Annie Bolden. The highlights of our executive summary include: it will help treat individuals with mental disorders. The country of Guyana. Guyana has the highest suicide rate in the world. Between 1,500 and 2,000 people commit suicide a year. The market situation analysis this is a brand new market. Doctors can analyze correlations between dreams and actions of their patients. And this also can help doctors treat their patients.
The reports of suicide are continually on the rise as more and more Guyanese see it fit to escape disconcerting experiences by taking their own lives. Why this has become the popular recourse is still to be determined, and a solution is seemingly evading the policymakers. President Granger, in the most recent interactive series, The Public Interest, acknowledged the negative impacts of this behavior and promised swift action.
I think the number of suicides in Guyana, the variety of causes, the people who are involved, all demand emergency attention. And I have summoned a meeting of 6 ministers and maybe some other NGOs.
The head of state said he's aware that the Public Health Ministry launched a prevention strategy 4 months ago and is awaiting an update on the findings and the way forward. President Granger said he intends to do everything possible to fix this problem.
We need to examine the circumstances, the conditions under which people live, causation, why do people commit suicide. Obviously, some countries have a higher rate than others, and I'm concerned as president that Guyana has a higher rate than other countries. It's not as though there is an average around the world, and we are just average. We are above average, and that is disturbing.
Recent reports are indicating that Guyana actually has one of the highest suicide rates globally, and most victims ingested poisonous substances. The president opined the following.
In answer to your question, I would say that there are certain predisposing factors in Guyana, whether they're social or cultural or economic or geographical. There are certain factors in Guyana which maybe encourage or facilitate young persons particularly to commit suicide.
Many share the view that tightening the laws governing the handling and purchasing of these substances would ultimately lessen the occurrence. But the president is not in complete agreement with that notion.
Once a person or a couple intend to commit suicide, they will find the means if they have the motive. What we hope to do by governmental intervention is to maybe demotivate suicidal persons.
The president relayed, however, that restricting access to these chemicals will be examined as a tool to reduce suicide prevalence. The most recent victims of suicide are 23-year-old Akhil Sherland and 27-year-old Kemwati Prasad. They lived on the Essequibo coast and both ingested poisonous substances to escape whatever reality seemed insurmountable. For Safe TV2 Headline News, Kingsley Bryan.
Awareness to Guyana. 142,000 to 179,500 individuals need mental health services. Guyana have less than 5 full-time psychiatrists, and even the storage of bed in a natural psychiatric hospital is at a shortage. Our target market is male and females, young adults between 15 to 24. And the reason being because this age group has the highest suicide rates. SWOT analysis. Some of our strengths are this the only product on the market. It can record dreams and provide analytical data. And women are more responsive to mental health issues. And a couple of our weaknesses are the resources for this product are limited, and the maintenance and storage of this product will be expensive. However, our opportunity is we have opportunity to cure individuals of mental illness. And some of our threats are men in Guyana tend to disregard their mental health issues. And people in Guyana are introduced to poverty, which could lead to drug addiction and eventually the ultimate suicide. And lastly, Guyana health system is structured poorly. These are our top 3 competitors: OCZ NIA, Nero Sky, and Emotive.
Hi, I'm Samantha Tyro. For this presentation, I'll be talking about our product and laying emphasis on the competitors for Oneiron data controversy and its product offering, critical issues, and keys to success. Thank you. The next slide talks about the product offering. Oneiron data controversy is a device that records brain activity when an individual is asleep. And the feeding psychology is the theoretical basis behind the development of this product. The psychology states that the unconscious immune self is brought more into consciousness when in a sleep state. And Oneiron is developed to unravel and understand the human nature at this level. Suicide being a social problem that has continued to elude researchers, and empirical data hasn't been able to provide more information on the reason behind why people commit suicide. In this scenario, the device will be used to see if peering into unconscious processes during dreams can unravel more information about the human mind, which could in turn lead to major breakthrough from the mental health sector. The next slide talks about keys to success. Oneiron's keys to success entails providing doctors with accurate and faster results to help treat patients' psychological problems and reducing the suicide rate in Guyana. Our goal is to increase human recreation and also to increase funds available for treatment, as well as reduce the suicide rates in Guyana.
Hello, my name is Willie Sykes. I'll be presenting the marketing segment of our presentation. Thanks. Willie Sykes, and I will be discussing primarily the the marketing portion of the presentation. So in terms of positioning, we will be positioned as the most exciting and newest product for fighting psychological disorders and mental illnesses in the country. Most mental cases are diagnosed based off formulated tests, and they're not major scientific devices that can be used as standardized procedures for dealing with psychological cases. We aim to make our company the industry standard for handling mental healthcare issues. Our marketing strategies really will consist of marketing to board education. We want to, of course, our target audience is between 15 to 24, but definitely not limited, because there's a lot of cases that, in terms of suicide prevention, that happens between 35 and lower. Of course, 15 and 24 meet those specs, but obviously we want to cater that target market to the places where they meet most likely, and that's the Board of Education, making sure they're aware, they know that they're aware of the problem, but introducing a product like this that could potentially save lives in the schools, making them proactive in saving lives. Psychiatric centers Of course, our device is going to be more centered around the physicians who will be treating these mental disorders. Very, very important that we get it to the folks that's going to be actually performing the test. Of course, end users, if you will have access to these devices, but it's more going to be centered and targeted around the primary care physicians who also strategize or how we would market this strategy through TED. Obviously, TED has been a very good interim or a very good medium introducing new technology and needs in the medical field. So we would introduce this device through TED, which one of our competitors has done before. Also, colleges and universities just performing different conferences or putting on different conferences that bring awareness to suicide prevention and using our device, our product as a solution to that problem. So these are some of the ways we're going to strategize or around. Our next slide is going to be marketing mix, which is it'll be priced competitively to enable to gain market share. The shelf price will be right now at about $100. So just kind of going through this marketing mix. So of course they have a couple different type of MRD types, which is the mind recording device, which will be going off at 120, and we also MRD-X, which will be going off at 4,000. This is the professional version that I mentioned before, that allows, of course, the healthcare professionals to perform these different tasks for actually getting, qualitative information to be able to do research and again provide to create solutions in the market. These are some of our advertising kind of mentioned before. Free test runs, agents at hospitals, online advertising, TV commercials, just some of the things that we're going to do. Definitely starting off, it's not going to be a lot of TV commercials to mitigate expenses, but we definitely allotting $50,000 to make sure that we're in the market and people know who we are. Event sponsorships where we would sponsor a few events, different things of that nature, which the budget is $20,000. So tactics to be able to bring about brand awareness. Some of our market research is we actually did based on 3 tiers, which was a demographic assessment and trend analysis, which studies show that 142,000 to 179,000 approximately people need mental health services. Guyana has the second highest rate of teen pregnancy in the Caribbean. 2 out of 3 persons who commit suicide in Guyana are young people below the ages of 35, especially those of 15 to 24 age range. The study also showed that healthcare workers have included that alcohol abuse basically attributes to suicide. The study was shown that the prevalence for alcohol consumption in males in schools was rated at 44%, with females at 34%. Currently, right now, there's no strict, policy on alcohol restrictions. It's not really regulated. Thus, when you connect suicide prevention with alcohol abuse, you get a appetite for destruction. We performed a quantitative survey which consisted of 405. We sent it out to 405 people. Only 202 responded. One of the questions that we asked was, would a dream reading biometric device be a plausible solution into mental health solution? 78% said yes. Another test that we ran was, or a question that we said was, do suicide prevention need something innovative to prevent increase of deaths from suicide? We had 45% of people say yes. Another question that we asked was, would you all attend a conference for this particular device, the urinary technology, if it was locally conducted? And 89% said yes. That's the quantitative survey that we conducted. The competitive assessment, we have NeuroSky, which is very attractive in the market, Emotive, and OCZ, which are in the market. Again, have a lot of traction. This market is relatively new. Our biggest competitor only been in the market since 2011 as it relates to this device. So still a lot of areas to improve on things that they've done. But really, there's nothing in the market that really does what we do in terms of reading dreams and being able to, put that information into physician hands to make critical decisions on saving lives and preventing suicide. The next part goes into the finances. So just want to thank you for your time, and I'll be passing it on to one of my colleagues. Thanks.
Hello everyone, my name is Tamara Gillard.
Hello everyone, my name is Tamara Gillard and I will be touching briefly on our financial objectives. So first is funding. How do we plan on funding this innovative product? We look to have investors and get grants as well as different partnerships. We plan on presenting this product at the 2017 Medical Innovation Summit. So hopefully, we'll appeal to some people in the medical organizations who would want to work with us. Next is our alternative source of profit, and this is an important objective for us. Of course, we plan to bring in revenue by our product alone, but we also look to generate revenue through device training, device installation, as well as device maintenance. Studies show that companies spend about $100,000 a year on maintenance for their medical devices, such as CAT scans and MRIs, and we can expect the same for our Dream Reader as well. And last but not least, our objective is to cut prices. This is a long-term goal of ours. Of course, at startup, the cost is going to be pretty high, but eventually we want to cut our prices to make it more affordable for people who may not be able to afford healthcare, but they'll still be able to get the diagnosis and treatment that they deserve. Next, we have our budget for the first year. We do have 3 different types of our devices. The first one coming in at $320,000, the second one being $360,000, and the final MRDX being $350,000. Moving on to our headquarters, we plan to have a 4-floor complex commercial space where we will conduct most of our operations. We look to spend $300,000 on that. Next, we will invest in our experience centers. We will have a minimum of 20, and that will cost approximately $30,000 each. Next, we will be pricing for advertising. We plan on doing online advertising, event sponsorship, as well as TV commercials, and we look to allocate $100,000 to advertising. And last but not least, we plan on distributing a free unit to a few healthcare facilities. just to boost our promotion and get the ball rolling with getting our brand established. And this is our budget for the first year. Next, we have our marketing expense budget. So as I stated in my previous slide, we plan on advertising 3 ways through TV, events, as well as online. I stated that we have $100,000 budget for advertising. We look to cut that 3 ways evenly so we can advertise effectively through our 3 outlets, and we really want to appeal to our market that way. Next, we have our sales predictions. Assuming that we keep our budget the same as the first year, we look to have a steady increase in profit over the next 3 years, with our projected profit being in the millions. And last but not least, we have our break-even analysis. As I stated, we are looking at startup costs of $1,470,000. If we sell 368 of our MRDX units at $4,000 per unit, we will break even. We will make a profit of $1,472,000 for a profit of $2,000. And you'll see here, this is where we would break even. And that will conclude our financial objectives. Again, my name is Tamara Gillard. Thank you.
We're looking at a 5-year plan period for the first phase of the product rollout. For a product of this uniqueness, it's necessary to work with the medium term of prediction to give it adequate time for the market to accept it and for the market to adjust to it. We later will show a graph showing the growth of the 5-year period, and also we believe our consultancy services is a major opportunity to generate revenue.